Welcome back to our Wealthy Mindset, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and business. It's your host, Cindy, your fractional CFO and potential bestie. And today marks my 100th episode. It's crazy how time flies. I remember recording my first episode. It completely felt so awkward and weird talking to a camera for so long and feeling like I'm just talking to myself. I don't know who's going to listen to this podcast or if it's even worth it. But I told myself, even if one person listens, I know I'm making the difference. So I continued to keep going, regardless of reading scripts and feeling awkward. So I appreciate you being on this journey with me. And I was supposed to hit 90 episodes in 90 days, but I didn't do that. I did have some days where I missed dealing with tax season, being away in Mexico for my cousin's wedding. But I still kept going regardless of that. And now we're at 100 episodes. Usually people do that in 2 years if they're posting an episode a week. But I was able to do that in 5 months. I remember I recorded my first episode in February, the same day as the Super Bowl. And now here we are in July on the 100th episode. So thank you for being on this journey with me. If you're enjoying these episodes, provide me some feedback. I'd love to hear what you enjoy listening to, what you'd like more of, or even guest episodes where there's topics I haven't even discussed yet. So I'd love your feedback. You can send me an Instagram message at It's Cindy Kumar. Also, feel free to share it with a friend as well. My goal with this podcast is to normalize conversations around money. So the more women this can get to, the more impact I can make. In today's episode, I really just want to share what's going on behind the scenes. I am speaking in New York next month for Rich Girl Conference, and I'm super excited, but also really nervous. Now, I've done like webinar presentations, I've done like educational presentations, I've spoken in front of people, I've spoken in front of schools, but this just feels really different to me in my body. I am working with a voice coach. Her name's Coco. She's from Orlando. I will have her on an episode so she can share more about why, like, your tone, your messaging is so much important, and some tips that you can apply to your own business, or maybe you will be speaking on stage yourself, or even in your content. But I've been learning so much from her. We started working together in May. I felt like I had so much time to prep. We meet every 2 weeks. I feel like I had a lot of time, but at the same time, I have found myself procrastinating. She gives me homework to record myself talking, send her videos, really practice using like body language, using my hands, changing up like my voice tone as well. I have been practicing, but I feel like I just have been having like blocks. Like every time I go to like practice or do something, I just feel like I hold myself back. I make every excuse like I'm too busy with client work, I'm doing this, I'm working on her profit era. I'm always looking for excuses not to practice my presentation or even send Coco videos. In June, our schedules were like completely off. I was sick, she was sick, dealing with allergies, and we had to like reschedule and cancel sessions. And deep inside, I felt a sense of relief. And that's where I knew that my body and my nervous system are just trying to keep me safe. Now, if you're trying to like up level in your business, maybe you're trying to become like the millionaire version of you, the healthy, strong version of you you're trying to stop people pleasing, or maybe just become a happier version of you, your mind and your body are so used to what you're currently doing. So you're going to have so much resistance into stepping into that version of you that you want to become. And that is what's happening for me. I want to speak more. I want to get on like other people's podcasts, really just share my voice, my experience, and show up as an authority in like the finance industry. And I know I'm capable of doing all of that, but I just have so much hesitation and so much resistance. With being in a corporate background, I was always like pretty much behind the scenes. I wasn't really making decisions in the firms that I worked at. I really was just following orders, I guess you could say, and just directions. So when I started my business, it just felt really uncomfortable. And now, like, I've been doing the same thing for the last 3 years. Now I'm trying to up level into a different version of Cindy. And the same, like, scared kind of feelings, the same vlogs, everything is coming up again. And it's not because I don't know what I'm saying. It's just, I'm so scared. My body and my nervous system are so used to the person I am right now. So it's just like, why are you trying to change what's already working? So right now, I'm going through the awareness piece. I see these blocks coming up. I ignored them from May to June, but my last session with Coco, which was like end of June, I realized that these blocks are coming up. I also have been trying to become a different version of myself when I am speaking and practicing, kind of just letting loose and trying to have fun with it. Now, I want you to think of like celebrities, actors, actresses. Even Kobe Bryant is a good example. Like on the court, he became like the Black Mamba. He had this different persona and this different personality versus being off the court. Same with actors. They become this whole different character in the movie or in the TV show. And then their actual like life is totally different from that. And that's what happens. You'll also notice that in like your work. You have to become a different version of yourself. When you're working, your customer service voice is completely different than you just talking to your friends or family. And the same applies when you're trying to up level yourself. It's gonna feel uncomfortable, but the awareness piece is so key. If you need to like cry it out, shake it out, whatever you need to do, just release all of that. Because if you weren't capable of like speaking on the stages or up leveling in your business or your health or your life, you wouldn't be getting those ideas and those opportunities wouldn't come up. So right now, when those fears are coming up for me, I tell myself if I wasn't capable of stepping on stage in New York, the opportunity would not come up for me. John and Brittany would not ask me to step on stage to talk about finances, the teenage girl money mindset, and the clarity control cash flow framework if they didn't see my potential in who I am and the work that I do. Now, I know the work that I do is really important, and same goes with what you do. So if you're trying to up level, do some like podcast interviews, step on stage, maybe even host your own events, tell yourself if you weren't worthy of those opportunities, they would not be coming up for you. I promise you that. And that's what I keep reminding myself. I have to really think about when I'm doing my practice sessions with Coco now and be like, okay, I need to shake it out. I need to relax. I need to take my deep breaths so that I can show up fully present for these sessions. Because I don't use hand gestures. I never have in the past. My tone has already like been fully like neutral. And she really taught me that hand gestures help you get like the audience's attention. At the same time, think of like your voice as like piano keys. So as you're speaking, your tone needs to shift, your facial expressions need to shift as well. That's something I never learned growing up or even my corporate jobs. And I'm really grateful that I get the opportunity to work with Coco, really develop new skills, and it's going to help me show up better in my business as well. So don't be afraid to invest in like voice coaches or working with people that already do what you want or where you want to get to. And remember, I'm not sure if you saw like Alex Ramosey's recent post. What he said is do something consistently for 100 days straight. You'll be way ahead than most people because people give up too easily. We're so quick on chasing that quick dopamine hit. We want instant results, but we have to be in it for the long game. So, my signature speech at Rich Girl New York, it's a stepping stone for me for my speaking career. I have another opportunity in November where I'm speaking for a women's tattoo collective on the island. And I know the more I start speaking, getting on stages, the more comfortable it's going to get for me. Right now, I'm just doing like this podcast, doing webinars, doing in person education kind of presentations. But I've never done an actual kind of signature speech in front of like a big stage and a group of women. It's going to be like over 200 women in the room. So I'm super nervous. And I really just wanted to share this with you because if you're dealing with a block, I want you to know it's totally normal. If you have emotions coming up, feel like you're not worthy of these opportunities, just take a deep breath, relax, because the higher version of you, she's worthy of everything that's coming. And if you find yourself trying to self sabotage or negative comments or something's coming up, you're just spiraling, know that it's okay. Give yourself the space to feel it. And then you just have to keep showing up regardless. Because those thoughts and beliefs are going to show up no matter what. So for me, even when I go to New York, I get on that stage, like all these fears and doubts are still going to be in my head. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to ignore it, show up as the best version of me, and tell myself I am worthy of being there. So I want you to feel like you're also worthy too. So that's it for today's episode. If you resonated with anything, you found my tips helpful, or just listening to my story, please send me a DM on Instagram at It's Cindy Kumar. I'd love to hear from you.